You ever have one of those brilliant ideas for an AI app, but then you realize just how complicated it is to actually build it? I mean, we're not talking about simple little chatbots here. We're talking about real enterprise-grade tools. The kind where the engineering effort can be just massive. Well, it turns out that whole process is getting a major shakeup. Let's get into it. So, at the heart of all this is a huge split in how we're building AI. On one side, you've got these code-first frameworks like LangChain. They're incredibly powerful, super customizable, but man, you have to be a technical wizard to use them. And on the other side, there's this new platform-first approach with tools like FastGPT that's all about speed and making things easier for everyone. This isn't just about power versus simplicity. It's about picking the right tool for the right job. And, this quote just absolutely nails the difference. Think about it. LangChain gives you the engine, the transmission, the wheels, basically a whole box of car parts, and says, all right, go build your car. Which is perfect if you're an expert mechanic who needs total control over every single bolt. But let's be honest, most businesses, they just need to get from point A to point B. They need the finished car, keys in hand, ready to hit the road. That's FastGPT. So let's talk about that box of car parts problem for a second. When you go the code-first route, your team is on the hook for everything. We're talking deployment, security, monitoring, and just endless lines of code. It slows everything down, and maybe more importantly, it really limits who can even help build the AI. It pretty much becomes a game only expert engineers can play, and that creates a huge bottleneck. And this is exactly where FastGPT comes in. It's not just another tool, it's a whole platform built for businesses. It's designed around this cool tech called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. All you really need to know is that it's great at retrieving specific info from your own documents to generate really accurate answers. Basically, it's built to solve that whole assembly problem from the start. It is that ready-to-drive car. The whole philosophy behind FastGPT is what makes it so different. It's all about speed and access. You've got visual workflows, so you're literally dragging and dropping logic instead of writing code. It's enterprise-grade right out of the box, so you're not just building a little prototype that can't handle the real world. The entire point is to get a valuable tool into people's hands, and fast. And just look at who gets to be a builder now. It's not just the hardcore AI engineers anymore. Product managers can actually design the application logic. Business teams can build tools to solve their own daily problems. IT support can automate their own workflows. This just throws the doors wide open for who can create with AI. Okay, so we've got our car, we know it's fast, we know it's accessible, but what's actually powering this thing? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the three-part engine that makes FastGPT tick. These are what the folks behind it call the three core powers. First up, knowledge-based Q&A. This is awesome. You just feed it all your company documents, PDFs, Word docs, whatever, and boom, it becomes a searchable brain for your AI. Then you've got workflow orchestration. That's the drag and drop interface for designing how your app thinks and acts. And finally, data intelligence and integration. This is what connects your AI to everything else, your other apps, your data sources, so it can be truly useful. All right, enough about the engine. The real fun is seeing what this thing can do on the open road. Let's look at how these core powers come together to build some real-world apps that solve actual business problems. First up, let's talk about building an internal enterprise brain. Just imagine an AI assistant that knows absolutely everything about your company's internal policies, and it's available 24/7 to every single employee. So here's how you'd build it using those powers we just talked about. You start with document ingestion, feeding it all your HR policies and IT guides. Then, a really cool feature called AI Auto QA Generation kicks in, which turns those long, boring documents into neat question and answer pairs. This makes the AI way more accurate. And finally, platform integration lets you drop this tool right into the systems your team already uses every day, like Microsoft Teams. The results? Employees can just ask normal, everyday questions and get instant, correct answers. No more digging through some messy shared drive. No more bugging HR with the same 5 questions over and over again. This is a huge productivity boost. Okay, so next, let's turn this power outward. What if, instead of helping your own employees, you could help your customers? You can use the exact same principles to build an incredibly effective automated customer service agent. And the impact on the business here is just staggering. By feeding the AI all your product manuals, your FAQs, and your support docs, you can automate answers to most of the common questions you get. The analysis suggests this could lead to a potential drop in manual support costs of up to 80%. 80. That is an absolute game changer for any company's bottom line. Okay, but for any business, this brings up the big, scary question, what about our data? I mean, handing over all your sensitive company secrets to some third-party cloud service? That's a non-starter for a lot of people. This is all about security, and really, it's about owning your own AI. This is where FastGPT's design is just so smart for businesses. It's built for private deployment. That means your data, your knowledge base, your user chats, none of it ever has to leave your own servers. You can run it in a totally isolated network, you get predictable costs instead of paying per question, and you have the freedom to customize it however you want. And hey, don't hear private deployment and think it's going to take months to set up. They've made it shockingly simple. You just download the files, tweak a few settings like your password, and then run a single command to fire the whole thing up. It makes enterprise-level security and control actually achievable, without needing a giant team of engineers. So, stepping back, what does this all really mean for the future of building AI? Well, we're seeing this massive shift away from just the nitty-gritty line-by-line coding and toward the bigger picture, the high-level design of the whole system. Bottom line, platforms like FastGPT are making AI development something anyone can do. When the how gets way easier, when the car is already built for you, it lets so many more people focus on the what and the why. This is a huge deal. The most important skill is no longer just about being a Python genius. It's about deeply understanding a business problem and creatively designing an intelligent system to go solve it. You're not just a builder anymore. You're becoming an architect. And that leaves us with this really interesting question to chew on. As these powerful, easy-to-use platforms become the norm, who is the AI creator of the future? Is it going to be the coder, deep in the weeds, painstakingly assembling every part of the car? Or is it going to be the architect, the person who understands the whole landscape and can design exactly where that car needs to go and precisely what it needs to do when it gets there? It's a big shift, and it's happening right now.